Good evening. Hello. If you are joining, this is going to be the first interview of the Unbreakable Voices, and I wanted the first interview. Hi, Nicola. I wanted the first interview to be my story. So if you're just joining, Unbreakable Voices is a series of interviews that I am going to be bringing to you, and it's going to be covering cancer stories from other mums, whether or not they have the same cancer that I had or different cancers. There's so many out there, and I'm on a mission to get as many stories out there as possible and to raise as much awareness as possible. So we have got my lovely daughter behind the camera. She doesn't want to have her face on, but she is going to be asking me the interview questions that I would be asking you. So after this, if you want to take part, if you want to get your story out, just then DM me, and then we can then find a date and time for you. I've got 3 other lovely ladies signed up. We've got skin cancer, we've got breast cancer, and we've got sarcoma cancer as well. So they're all amazing stories, and I can't wait to share them with you in the upcoming weeks. But let's get started. So Annabelle, if you want to ask me the first question, and we'll begin. So here we go. Unbreakable Voices, the first episode. I feel like I should have like a jingle or something. But yeah, okay, go on then.
Okay, tell me a bit about yourself and what life looked like before your cancer diagnosis.
So I am Sharon, to anyone who is new to this page. I am mum to 2 children, Annabelle, 14, and Elijah, who's 8. And before my cancer diagnosis, I was working in finance for 16 years. But I felt very lost, I guess, as I think a lot of us mums do. We start a job, and you know, when you become a mum, you kind of then just stuck in that role. So I was feeling quite lost before my cancer diagnosis, and just plodding along year by year. The kids are getting older. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was miserable in my job. I knew that, my husband knew that, even my boss knew that. But it was just stale, and it was just, I didn't see any sort of way out of the situation. So yeah, that was basically it, really. Next question.
How did you find out about your cancer?
So I found out that I had cancer through a salmon patch. I had this little salmon patch in the corner of my eye. I had no symptoms. I had no fatigue, no weight loss, no nausea. And it was all through COVID time as well. So I am like a big cheerleader of the NHS, because they really sort of helped me very quickly. But I went to the doctor, but because it was through COVID, you couldn't actually go in. So I sent a picture of my eye, and the doctor thought it was an allergic reaction to something. And so they prescribed me eye drops, which I thought straight away, I don't think it's an allergic reaction to anything. And I stuck to my gut, and I went back to the doctor. A salmon patch, it was so like salmon, like the colour, and it was just this little in the corner bit. And I only really noticed it because in photos, if I was looking that way, you could see it. It didn't come over like halfway or nothing. It was just slightly over the white of my eye, but it was enough to know that something's not right, and I could see it in the photos. So that's what sort of got me to go to the doctor to check it out. So then I went back to the doctor for the second time, and he straight away was like, I actually went in and saw him, and he said, I don't know what that is, we're going to refer you to hospital. So they referred me, and it was an urgent referral, and straight away they were like, we don't know what that is, do you have any lumps and bumps? And that was the first time cancer quickly entered my mind, but then it also quickly exited, because I thought, well, it's not going to be cancer. And they were like, you need to go to Moorfields Hospital, which is an eye hospital in London. So I was sent there and they said we need to do a biopsy. So they did the biopsy, and then it was 10 days after I got the phone call to then say that it was actually cancer. But yeah, it wasn't, I didn't have any symptoms at all. So yeah, that's how I found out.
Okay, next question. What type of cancer were you diagnosed with, and what stage were you at?
So I was diagnosed with Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is a blood cancer, and this cancer attacks the white blood cells. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is not normally found in your eye. It's quite rare. Normally you would have it in your neck, under your arm, in your groin. And when we say non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, that doesn't actually just pick just one cancer. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is actually a group of cancers, and there's over 60 cancers, and they range from different aggressiveness. So when someone says they have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, it could be very different to the non-Hodgkin's lymphoma that I have, which is why I am super keen to raise awareness, because there's a broad area when it comes to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. But I am all clear now. So that's the stage that I'm at.
Can you describe the exact moment you heard the words, "you have cancer"? What went through your mind?
So I didn't actually get told that I had cancer. I got told that I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I think the woman on the phone, I don't know, she was just too scared to tell me that I had cancer. And I remember asking her, how do you spell lymphoma? And I wrote it down. I got off the phone and then I Googled it. So that wasn't very, I mean, that was awful, really. And I just remember, because it was through COVID time, my husband was upstairs in our bedroom working from home. And I just remember, as soon as I Googled it, I went upstairs. He was on a call. I opened the door and he saw that I was crying, came off the call, and I just remember saying to him, I've got cancer. And I just remember him just hugging me. And it was just, I just felt broken. It was something that you just never, ever expect to hear or for you to sort of go through. And it was just, I just had a wave of emotions coming over me. Anger, sadness, scared. I was then thinking about the kids, like, am I going to die? Am I not going to see them get married? Am I not going to see them grow up? What? Am I not going to meet my grandchildren? You sort of go 20, 30 years suddenly into the future, and you're like, am I not going to be there for everything that's going to come? It's a real out-of-body experience when you're told you have cancer, and it's not something that I really want anyone to go through, but a lot of people do, and it's quite lonely. It's definitely quite lonely.
Alright, next question. How did you cope with telling your family and friends, and what advice would you give anyone who's just been diagnosed in terms of telling their family?
So with family and friends, I really struggled, because we were in COVID time, I really struggled with telling my mum and my brother. And I remember after I told my husband, I remember then getting my phone and doing a video call with my mum and my brother. And I remember their faces coming up, and I tried to get the words out, and I was trying to talk and nothing was coming out. And so I had to hand the phone to my husband, and I just had to leave the room. I couldn't even hear their reactions. I was just chewed distraught. And I just remember hearing muffled voices and hearing him tell them. With friends, some friends I've got like a big group of mum friends, and I WhatsApped them because I was like, I can't tell you face to face in the playground. I can't be crying like on the playground. But for the people that I was telling face to face, my husband or somebody else who already knew was always with me. And I think for somebody who's just been diagnosed, if they are then going to be telling their family and friends, I think if you have somebody with you who knows, I think it's really good to have that support, to have somebody there holding your hand, because I then felt that I had somebody who had my back, who knew what I was about to say and knew that I needed to have somebody behind me pushing me to break that news. So yeah, that's what I would say. If you've just found out and you're, wanting to tell your family and friends, have somebody there with you who knows, because I think that really helps.
Okay, next question. Did you feel like you had to stay strong for others? And if so, how did that impact you?
Yeah, it's really weird. You kind of go through a load of emotions. So I felt like I had to stay strong for myself. So that in itself was taking a lot of my strength. But then sometimes I felt that I was having to stay strong for other people. And that's really hard, because then you start getting a mixture of emotions, and you're kind of like, well, why am I having to stay strong for you? You're not going through it. I'm the one going through it. Oh, thank you, Sam. And it's like, it's really hard, because you want to stay strong for everyone, but you also are now battling this disease. So you need to keep your strength for yourself. But then, so you're constantly fighting like this inner battle of staying strong for yourself, but then staying strong for everybody else. But then why do I have to stay strong for everybody else when they're not going through it? But then they're supporting me, so I want to stay strong for them. So it's a real battle that goes on in your head whilst you're trying to then do everything else. So it's really hard, and that's why you really do need to lean on your support network when you're going through something like this. Next question.
Okay. You're a mum. Everyone's experience when it comes to whether to tell their children is different. What was your thoughts on this? And if you did tell your children, how did you?
So, and I'm going to ask you a question after this as well, Annabelle. She just rolled her eyes at me. So I very much from the beginning had decided I was not going to tell my children until I had the all clear. That was my personal preference. Everyone is different. I've got a friend who had breast cancer, and she told her children while she was going through the treatment, and that's her preference. But for me, I didn't want to tell my children that I had cancer and then for them to maybe ask, are you going to die? And I can't answer that. I wanted every answer that I gave my children to be an honest answer. And so I did not tell Annabelle until last year when you were 13. And it was the hardest conversation I've ever had. And I remember sort of thinking, do I want my husband there? Do I not want my husband there? But at the end of the day, I thought, this is something really personal and really sensitive, and I need it to be just me and Annabelle. So I remember we were sat on my bed, weren't we? And I said to her, because they knew that I had treatment on my eye, but they didn't know that it was cancer. And I remember sitting her down and then saying to her, someone said, Annabelle, you two are true. Sam said, Annabelle, you two are truly amazing. We love you. Oh. She's smiling, Sam. Yeah, I sat her down and I said to her, you know, when I had all the treatment on my eye, and you were like, yeah. And I kind of just said it, didn't I? I was just like, I said, it was actually cancer. To which she straight away burst into tears. And I had to use all the strength in me to not cry. But I just was honest with her, and I just told her the entire story. And then after I finished, and I said to her, you know, I'm clear. And then I said to her, any questions you have, you can ask me. I'm going to be truly honest with you. And the first thing she asked was, can you catch it? Which I laughed. I was like, no, it's not cold. And then she asked me, will it come back? And I hadn't actually anticipated her asking that. And for a split second, I thought I need to lie. But then I thought, touch wood, if it does come back, and I've told her, no, it won't come back, she'll know I've lied to her, and that won't be good. So I was like, no, I need to be honest. So I was honest, and I said, it could come back, and it could. Like, having cancer once, unfortunately, it doesn't mean that I'm not going to get it again. And that's something that I have to battle with every day. But I just said to her, if it does come back, then I'm just going to fight it again. And I think when you tell your children something like this, they then realise what you've been through. And I think with Annabelle being 13, she then saw that she and her brother had been my strength. And I think that was nice for her. But another thing that she then said after that was, don't tell Elijah. Now, Elijah, he's 8 now, so he was 7 last year. And he is very sensitive. He is very protective of me. Like, we'll be crossing the road and he'll grab my arm and quickly pull me because he doesn't want me to get run over. So if I told him right now, I don't think he's emotionally ready, because I think it would break him. So, yeah, she's nodding. So I will tell Elijah, but when he's older. But yeah, what did you, like, you got anything to add to that, Annabelle, or no? No, she's very quiet. She did a work experience today, and I think she was like, I'm knackered, I've like groomed 4 dogs. I was like, welcome to the real world. Okay, next question.
What treatment did you have or still have for cancer?
So I had radiotherapy, and I don't have any treatment now. But yeah, I had radiotherapy at St Bart's Hospital. I was going to go to a different hospital, but the way that they did it, the equipment that they needed, they didn't have at the other hospital. What? So Amy said, Annabelle, how wonderful that you were happy to share your story alongside your mum. You're both fantastic. Thank you for sharing your authentic self. And Sam said, Annabelle, you're a wise soul. Her head is not going to get back through the salon door. Thank you, though. So yeah, so the treatment, the treatment was hard because I had to get the train and tube into London every day for 3 weeks. And the actual radiotherapy itself was only 3 minutes, but it was the travelling that really took it out of me. But quickly, if I have to quickly just tell you what the radiotherapy, how it all happened, was I would go to then St Bart's, I'd lie on the bed, and they would put some drops in my eye, which literally every time it felt like they were putting acid in my eye. And they did this to then numb my eye. Then they would tape open, honestly, Sam, it was horrendous. They would then tape my eye open and then put this contact lens in my eye. Now, when I say contact lens, it isn't your everyday contact lens. It was like this great big, huge plastic, horrendous looking thing. But they would put this contact lens in my eye. I would then have to look up to the machine and have to just focus on the machine. And they would then put the radiotherapy rays would go in my eye. The whole thing's literally then looking up 3 minutes. That was it. Then they would take the contact lens out. Then they would then like cover my eye because of those drops. My eye was then numb. So if something had gone in my eye, I wouldn't know because my eye was numb. So I had to then cover my eye with a bandage for a couple of hours, go home, and then cover again. So that was every day for 3 weeks. So it was travelling that really took it out of me. But yeah, that's what radiotherapy was like for your eye. Okay, next question.
What fears did you have in terms of side effects of the treatment, and how did it affect your body?
So before I knew what treatment I was going to have, I was then terrified of losing my hair. I didn't know if I was going to have chemo or radiotherapy, but it was that was my first thought. Because I'm mixed race, it's taken me donkey's years to grow my hair, and I was absolutely terrified that I was going to lose my hair. But then when I found out I was having radiotherapy, I was then scared I was going to lose my eyebrow and my lashes, which I did. And that was really hard. Like, you don't realise how different you look with no lashes until you have no lashes. And then when they do grow back, they have grown back straight and they haven't all come back. So they're a lot sparser than the other eye. And my eyebrow didn't come back properly either. And so I, like last year for my 40th, I got them tattooed. But yeah, those were the side effects. But I also did get a massive infection in my eye, which I had then this massive red patch. And then my eyebrow, it did something to my eyebrow. So now when I talk, you can see when I talk, my eyebrow raises. So I just constantly look like Elvis, but hey ho. The things that we put up with. Okay, next question.
How long did the aftermath effect of the treatment last, and what have you used to help recover from these?
So yeah, after radiotherapy, I got the infection. So the infection, and it was really red. It was like, do you remember? You don't remember? It was like bright red around my whole eye, like this. Oh, honestly, Sam, Elvis look, it's not like look, every time it's ridiculous. It does my head in. Yeah, it was the infection lasted probably a couple of months, and then my eyelid was still swollen, and that lasted a good long time. And people would say to me, no, it looks fine, it looks back to normal. And I was like, no, it doesn't. That probably took a good 6 to 8 months to really get back to normal. But I was, I'm glad. But I was using aloe vera gel. That was really helping. I was using eye drops that I got from the doctors. But what was really helping was I was using these eye masks that you can get, and they have like gel beads in them. You put them in the freezer, and then you don't leave it in too long though. Put it in the freezer, and then when you take it out, it's nice ice cold, and just put that over your eyes. That is perfect for any swollen eyes. Like, that really, really helped. I'm sassy. I'm not sassy. Am I sassy? Apparently I am, Annabelle's nodding. Yeah. But yeah, that really, really helped sort of take the swelling down. And I was also doing I was looking online and doing like eye massages as well. So sort of like trying to get the fluids moving. So yeah. Next question.
Did you have support going through and after the treatment?
So I wasn't going to put this question in, but I decided to. So for whatever reason, I don't know whose fault it was, I did not have a Macmillan nurse. I don't know why. I don't know if, and it was hard when I was going through cancer and I didn't get the Macmillan nurse. I got a bit angry about it, and I was kind of like, what, is my cancer not good enough for me to have a Macmillan nurse? I don't know. It was a really stressful time, and I don't know why I didn't. So I had the support of my family and my friends, but it's very hard to support someone when you haven't gone through it. Like, if somebody was in a car crash, I would obviously be very supportive with them as much as I can, but I can't relate because I haven't been in a car crash. And it was the same thing with that. I felt like I didn't really have anyone who could really help me. I mean, I've had a close friend since have breast cancer, but she had it after me. My stepdad died 12 years ago of cancer, so he wasn't around. So I felt very alone because I didn't really have that support. And that's one of the reasons why I really am doing what I'm doing now, because I don't want any other mum to go through that, because it's really hard. And now that I have this experience, I want to be able to help other people have that support, because it can be very, very lonely. But yeah.
What did cancer impact the most? Did it change how you see yourself as a woman, as a mum? What's changed since that diagnosis?
Cancer changed me completely, but in a good way. See what I did there? My surname's Good Way. I have this new zest for life. I have been given this second chance, and I know it, and I see it, and I grab it with both hands. And I feel I am such a better person from it. I feel like I'm a better mum because I'm more present. I am showing my kids what you can be capable of. No, it's not Gabrielle. Gabrielle's one of my middle names. Everyone thinks Sharon Gabrielle is then my full name. No, it's not. Gabrielle's my middle. Why are you nodding? I'm not. And yeah, so I just feel like I'm then showing my kids what you can actually be capable of if you put your mind to it. I have this, it's weird, when you go through cancer, you kind of feel a bit like a superwoman, and it's like, if I can beat cancer, I can frigging beat anything. And it's like, you feel, I don't feel invincible, don't get me wrong, like if a truck hit me, I know I'm not going to survive it. But I just feel like if I can beat cancer, then anything else then that life throws at me, I have this fire and this strength in me now to then fight it. And so after I had the treatment and after I, had survived it, I decided I wasn't going to be working in finance anymore. I was like, fuck that, excuse my French. And so I trained in nails, I qualified, I started my own business, handed in my notice, started doing nails, love it, and I love the people that it's brought into my life, like Sam and Amy, who are commenting now. They've come through my life through nails, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful for all the connections that I've made through nails. And now I'm mentoring these cancer mums, and I'm doing coaching, and I'm so grateful and so thankful that my cancer story has ended in such a positive way. And I mean, it was 4 years ago, like just, what was it, a couple of weeks ago? 4 years, my life has changed so friggin' much. And I'm just so blessed and so humble that I'm now able to turn my mess into a message and just help other mums. Annabelle, next question.
What does life look like now for you?
I've just answered that. Next question.
If someone is listening who is currently in the thick of a cancer battle, what would you say to them?
I would say, and this might come across not nasty, I don't know what the word is, but I would say to you, if you are in the thick of your cancer battle, if you've just found out you've had cancer, you are probably thinking, why me? My advice to you, and something that really would actually help you, and that actually helped me, was turn that round. Instead of saying, why you, why not you? What makes you so special that you shouldn't get cancer? And when you start thinking that way, you then think, okay, yeah, why not me? And you then have this fire, and then you have this passion for life and this strength suddenly within you to kick its butt. Like, cancer is this silent ninja, but you have the power inside you to absolutely defeat it, and you will. And that's why I'm here, to be your cheerleader and to be everyone else's cheerleader who is still fighting cancer. So there we have it, guys. Our first Unbreakable Voices. Thank you so much to Nicola, Amy and Sam and Annabelle. I was going to say, they've joined. I was going to come and say thank you to you. Oh my God. But yes, thank you so much to you girls for joining. I was quite scared to do a live because, you know, it's out of our comfort zone, but this is bigger than me. And so because of that, I was like, Sharon, just put your big girl pants on and shut up and get out of there. So that's what I've done. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, Annabelle, my silent interviewer. I hope you heard her as well. Oh, the comments are lush. But yeah, thank you. And enjoy the rest of your evening. The next Unbreakable Voices is going to be next Wednesday. We have Emma, and Emma is a fabulous mum who had sarcoma cancer, and her story is just going to blow you away. So that's next Wednesday, and I'm not sure about the time yet. It's either going to be 2 p.m. or 8 p.m, so stay tuned. But thank you very much. Much love. Have a lovely evening. Bye.